Is that where turducken comes from?
It is, actually.
It's 9 a.m., 6 o'clock flight. Got a lot of caffeine in me, feeling better now. We're in an area called East Houston right now. We believe East Houston is the next area of growth. We're going to start here, and then right after East Houston, we're going to check out an area called the Heights, which is just northwest of downtown. Later on today, we're going to drive right past the Galleria, another very mature market in Houston, and we're going to end up in the energy corridor. We believe it's an area that's going to grow very rapidly. But we really feel like Houston is set to snap back, and we want to be an investor in this area. We own here now. We have people covering it on a daily basis. We want to add to our portfolio. So that's what we're here to do today. I'm going to bring in my colleague, Matt Ozee, who runs our Houston operation and our Texas operation, in fact, and he's going to take you through some of these submarkets and why we're excited about them. Bring it on in, Matt.
Hey, Dave.
How you doing, my friend?
Good to have you here.
Good to have you here.
Yeah.
So Matt, describe where we are right now.
Yeah, so Dave, we're just east of CBD Houston. So, 1 mile directly from the heart and center of it. And East Houston, today is really divided by two neighborhoods, or defined by two neighborhoods. So on the north side of East Houston, it's East End, and that's where we are today. On the south side, it's called Edo today. Both are markets that we like. Both are, in East Houston. Both are in path of growth. But the site that we have right here is on the north end, and why we like it is you can see, being close to downtown, looking backwards, great views of downtown. The Houston skyline at night lit up. It's beautiful. So that's kind of where we are. And some of the drivers that have moved, East Houston just in general is originally that MLS soccer stadium built. That's on the south side, more in Edo. On the north side now, the Midway Companies, which is a prolific developer out of Houston, they have a 150-acre mixed-use site just north of us that is going to be, full mix of, retail, residential, green spaces, walkability, and we're going to get the benefit of that site being this close, less than a half a mile, but also not being in the construction of that over the next couple of years.
And they're already breaking ground over there.
They are.
We're standing on a site in a qualified opportunity zone as well. To be clear, there's 8,700 qualified opportunity zones across the country. We only look for development sites in the 10 cities we cover. We don't want to be what we call out of town stupid, meaning we don't really understand what's going on. That doesn't happen. We have people that live in the region and work in the region.
3 or 4 years ago, when I started looking at East Houston as an opportunity to invest, I didn't know what a qualified opportunity zone was.
Didn't exist.
Didn't exist.
Yeah.
And so we were, already seeing the transitioning happening over here into the path of growth. And we, with our normal equity buckets, our normal investment vehicles, we were out chasing opportunities here to take advantage of people just wanting to be in this area.
Yeah.
And so as a part of getting the path of growth, that's something that we've always done. Fast forward to today, qualified opportunity zones were created, and it just so happens to overlay and intersect with our already, business plan and targeted submarkets.
This is it's an interesting site. We're super excited about the deal. That said, it's not fully approved until we get through this process, and we'll ultimately make that decision at that point. All right, Matt, we're heading north. We've now left East Houston. Where are we heading?
Yeah, we're heading to the Heights. So we just exited, and now we're on Heights Boulevard. The Heights was an old historic neighborhood that kind of went through its ups and downs, and then about 10 years ago, it really started transforming again, where people started coming in, buying these smaller, older homes, fixing them up, to kind of where it is today in the last few years of adding, great brand new restaurants, repurposing, gas stations into artists.
What in the hell? I just got attacked by the rental car.
I hope that didn't come out of my deposit. 10 years ago, these homes were $200,000-300,000. Today, those homes the land is worth more than that. The lot prices alone, an average lot is, $500,000, and people are ripping those homes down and building, multi-million-dollar homes now here. So, it's a huge transition of where it's been, and you can just look. It still has the charm of an old neighborhood, with sprinkled in brand new development.
The last time we were down here, we went to this awesome sandwich place.
Yeah, it's Carter and Cooley's. It's like a staple in the Heights.
They had literally 15 different sandwiches I wanted.
You had 15 that you wanted, and there was 100 to choose from.
Maybe I'll get more than one.
I think 3. So Dave, what do you think about that lunch?
You got to remember, I woke up at 4, so it's really like 4 p.m. You know, on a relative basis. So I knocked down probably 2 lunches at that point.
We're heading west now on I-10 towards the energy corridor right now to go take a look at a couple of opportunities.
The funny thing about the energy corridor is, although it is dominated by energy and energy-related businesses, there still is other presence here. You know, for example, the Texas Medical Center's West Campus is actually right, intertwined with the energy corridor. So that's come a long way from where Houston used to be.
Terrific. And the reason we like the energy corridor, historically, it does correlate with obviously the price of oil.
Very
and
much
it is
so.
a little bit more volatile. But right now, we feel like it's sort of coming off the bottom of 3 or 4 years of very low rent growth. Oil is stabilized. We actually feel like it's probably a good time to be buying.
And now we're about to go take a look at a couple live ones that we're chasing as we speak.
Terrific. Well, we're signing off from Houston. We spent a lot of time in East Houston checking out our qualified opportunity zone developments, talked about the catalysts there. Then we had a great drive through the Heights, got to know that neighborhood again. We're tracking that market, but it's probably a little bit high cost in terms of what we're willing to pay for properties right now. From there, we went on, drove through, and on to the energy corridor. So we've had certainly a full day. And Matt, thanks for hosting.
You bet.
I appreciate it.
Good to see you as
We'll
always.
see you again soon.
You bet. Thanks.
All right.